Hey guys, how are you doing? The Wrestling Guy back here today, joined by the chairman of the board. And today we have our WrestleMania 39 Night 1 and Night 2 review. So we're doing it all in one go. So this is going to be boom, boom, boom. We're going to really break this all down. What a cracking weekend of wrestling this was.
Yeah, really good weekend. We had NXT Stand and Deliver, which was excellent, and we had 2 nights of WrestleMania as well, so yeah, some solid matches, a lot we've got to discuss.
Yeah, so we're going to break each match down in the order that they were shown through the show. Before we get into the matches though, I just want to say the set design for this year was absolutely incredible.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It had that real Hollywood feel, that real cinema feel. Love the big long rampway as well. I would not want to be one of the people that was sat on the edge of that rampway though. I'm wondering how much it did impede people's views, but absolutely stunning, beautiful, beautiful set. Love the work that they did with it. I love the posters that they had on the sides and things like that all going on as well. Absolutely fantastic. The stage production of it all was absolutely brilliant. Kevin Hart's cold opens on both nights, really, really good as well. Really good storytelling. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Presentation-wise, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Loved it. SoFi Stadium as well, beautiful stadium. When they were doing some of the outside shots as well, it's a beautiful place.
Gorgeous looking place.
Yeah, really
absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, and an open roof arena as well. Everyone loves an open roof arena. It just adds that extra bit of feel to it.
Yeah. There's a couple of matches that probably could have benefited from being in a little bit of a darker.
Yeah, probably.
But we'll get into that as we get to those matches.
Yeah. And then we had our opener for night 1. So the opener, we found out a couple of days before, was going to be the United States Championship match between Austin Theory and John Cena.
Yeah, big match. John back on the main stage for WrestleMania.
Yeah, in my opinion, this was the perfect match to start the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of all of them was going to be on night 1, this is the one that had to start the show. You had Austin Theory come out. I thought his attire was fantastic. Loved the WrestleMania logo with Austin Theory. I thought that was really, really nice. And John Cena coming out with the Make-A-Wish kids as well was
that was really nice. Really good touch on there. Love him or hate him, John Cena does so much for Make-A-Wish. There's so much for the kids as well. That was a really nice touch on there. Really liked that. And I got to be honest, I don't say this very often, I actually like John Cena's t-shirt. And I'm not usually a big fan of John Cena's t-shirts, but I actually really like that one. It's got that real G.I. Joe kind of look to it. Yeah, really liked that one.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it, but I really liked it.
We'll see. Theory, I thought both guys actually pretty good in this match. Really got the crowd going, got the crowd behind both of them. Austin Theory plays the heel so well. He's just, every time you see him, he's just better and better. And it wasn't anything spectacular as a match, but it did what it needed to do as the opener. Yeah. And I think it told everything. It told the story. The storyline was limited anyway. There wasn't a huge build-up going into the match. John Cena wasn't around particularly much before the match, but it did everything it needed to do, I think. I think that was a bit of a shame, really, because Theory's been dropping lots of hints in his promos and that for quite a while about John Cena, and it's a shame that we didn't get some earlier on rebuttal from John regarding that. But the build-up in the last couple of weeks towards it, all really good, all solid. Really good match. Some really good back and forth in between in this as well. There's a really nice even percentage of offense and defense on there from both guys on there. Cena looks probably about half a step slower than he used to. He is starting to slow down a little bit, thinning a little bit on the back as well, John. But Austin Theory, absolutely fabulous. 100% the right guy to go up against John Cena. Really good on there. I really like Austin Theory. He's one of those heels that you hate but love at the same time. Really good, the stuff that he's doing. A brilliant change of character from the stuff that he was doing earlier on. So all absolutely brilliant. Some good back and forth. So some really good exchanges in here as well. We did kind of get the the referee's gone down. We got the hokey kind of finish. The Austin Theory tapping out, but the referee doesn't see. We did get all of that, but still really good. Still thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think not only is this the biggest win of Austin Theory's career so far, it's also felt like a real kind of passing of the torch moment as well. It kind of really felt like John Cena's starting to slow down, but who's coming up behind him? It's Austin Theory.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this, and I really think this is hopefully the potential to keep building on Austin Theory, but not just Austin Theory, also the United States title, giving that United States title some relevancy as well. It's really working at the moment. While Raw does not have a main title, it's still, it's doing what it needs to do. Really, really good.
Well, that's actually a question that I was going to ask you, actually. What's next for Austin Theory?
Don't know. I can see him gloating off of this for a week or two, gloating off the win for a little bit. Maybe we see Austin Theory Open challenges. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we're going to see somebody return and cause an upset for him.
We'll see.
I don't know. There's a few good names on the Raw roster that could potentially upset things for Theory.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see.
Definitely. We'll wait and see. Next match on the card then, after that cracking opener, we had the men's WrestleMania showcase match. It was the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders versus the Alpha Academy versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
Yeah.
Initially, I wasn't sure what the purpose of this match really was. I think it's still a bit kind of elusive. Is it for a title shot?
I think it's kind of a showcase of the men's talent and ability on the rosters, and possibly also an opportunity for them to showcase the tag teams that they have out there as well. I mean, you're talking 4 great tag teams, really, really good. There wasn't a bad person in this match whatsoever.
No.
The Viking Raiders were incredible, absolutely incredible. They were batterers. They looked like they were bruising people. The best stuff I've seen them do since they've come up onto the main roster. Absolutely, I think the addition of Valhalla is fantastic. They really, really look like what they're supposed to be, which is big bad butch guys beating the bejesus out of people, and that's exactly what they did. So yeah, really, really good on there. You had Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Again, really, really good. Braun Strowman getting to show his power and as well as his agility. I mean, he came off the top rope, and he's a big guy. Yeah. Ricochet getting to do all his high flying stuff as well. Some fantastic stuff there as well. Alpha Academy, absolutely brilliant. Chad Gable. Chad Gable is fantastic. The way that he got Braun Strowman up for that suplex and actually managed to bring him up and hold him for a few seconds before he tipped him back.
Beautiful.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, Chad Gable has got wrestling ability coming out of his ear holes. He's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, brilliant. Otis, great as well. Yeah, really, really good stuff on there. Great fun to see him out there as well. And then you got the Profits. The Profits, really, really good. All this talk about them splitting up and everything else, that seems to have gone now. They're really, really doing some really good stuff at the moment as well. Is this the potential for us to see future challengers for the tag team titles, especially now that things have changed?
Yeah, definitely. I was as I was watching this match, I kind of didn't want it to end. It was only 8 minutes long. I would have happily seen another 5-10 minutes.
Was it only 8 minutes?
It was only 8 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to have seen him get a good 15 to 20.
Yeah, would have loved to have seen maybe another 5-10 minutes onto this match. I wouldn't have begrudged it either. It was just fun entertainment right from the opening bell right to the end. They tried to cram as much as they possibly could into this, and it was entertaining. The fans were lapping it up as well. The fans were absolutely loving them.
Yeah, really, really good, and it just goes to show the quality and the ability that they have on the WWE roster at the moment. Yeah, definitely. Really, really good stuff on there.
Yeah. So Street Profits come out with the victory, and like I said, I hope this means maybe they're the next contenders for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
It would be well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really, really well deserved on there by the Profits. Just going to go back a second to our predictions, because we did have the predictions on there. In the first match with Theory and Cena, we did both predict Austin Theory, so we are both up on that one at the moment. However, in the men's showcase, I went with Braun and Ricochet. You did go with the Street Profits.
I did go with the Street Profits.
You did go with the Street Profits. If I'd have known that they were going to be the last team coming out, I would have gone with the Street Profits as well. Usually a little bit of a giveaway on that one. But well done on that one. So you're currently up 2-1.
Brilliant. And then we go into our third match of the evening. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. This match was placed perfectly on the card.
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. And this, like we said in our predictions video, this match was made for WrestleMania. This was a Mania-worthy spectacle.
Absolutely.
And this match is sports entertainment at its absolute finest. I think this is just brilliant.
Can't argue with that. Logan Paul gets the zip line intro, which was good. It was good. It was. I would have preferred to have seen him maybe coming off from the top and coming down rather than having to be lifted up and slowly trickling his way down. Yeah, that looked a little bit. His ring gear though.
Oh,
absolutely
amazing.
fantastic. Looked really, really good on there. And then Seth Rollins, we get the conductor, we get the crowd doing all the all that. I really, really liked that. I thought it was really good. It was really good. Seth Rollins comes out. God alone knows what he was wearing. I can't figure that out at all. It looked like somebody had put him in a jelly mold or something. I'm not sure what was going on with that. Yeah. But yeah, the crowd lapping it up, really, really lapping it up on there as well. Yeah, all really good stuff on there. So yeah, really good start on that one.
I said this before and I'm going to say it again. Logan Paul should not be as good as he actually is. He is absolute. I mean, come on, this guy, you watch him in the ring and you think he'd been doing it for the past, you think it would be in his bloodline, no pun intended. You think that he'd been doing it for the past kind of 5-6 years or whatever, but this guy's fresh. He's only had, what, 4 or 5 matches?
About a year,
he's a YouTuber, for God's sake. I mean, he's not a wrestler, but he is incredible.
Yeah, he is absolutely phenomenal. You would think he would been training at this since he was a boy, that maybe he had family lineage or whatever going through him. Absolutely incredible. I know that people hate him. I know that people don't like him. I know that they do the whole story with Seth Rollins saying about we don't want people like you in our house, that kind of stuff. But he is absolutely incredible. I mean, he's doing stuff that would put other wrestlers to shame. He can put other wrestlers to shame, really, with some of the stuff he's doing. He is really, really that good. Over the time that he's been working, you can see his selling has got a lot better. His moveset has got a lot better as well. He's moving a lot more loosely. It's not sort of that staggery starts and things like that in there. He's moving a lot better. His balance is absolutely incredible. That leap that he did straight up onto the top turnbuckle, didn't even use his hands, just straight up like a box jump, right up to the top.
I popped for that. I genuinely did pop for that.
Yeah,
that was great.
Absolutely incredible. Really, really good. Seth Rollins was absolutely the ideal opponent for him to go up against as well.
Yeah. And I would say about Logan Paul that although he didn't win the match, he proved everything he needed to prove in that match. That he is, I would arguably say, the future of the business. If he
stays, because there is talk that apparently his contract has just run out after WrestleMania. If he stays, if he re-signs, if he wants to do more with the WWE, I would be more than happy to see that. He's a massive.
Just imagine what he could do. With that little bit more training, and if he was a full-time superstar, he'd be up there.
That's the thing. I mean, if this guy wasn't a YouTuber, if this guy is just coming in as a fresh young talent, people would be all over him like mayonnaise. They would absolutely adore this guy. They would love him because of who he is and what he is. People aren't getting behind him, which I think is a massive shame. I really hope that he does think about spending a bit more time with the WWE and doing more stuff, especially with all these sales and mergers and things like that are going on now as well. There is that potential for there to be so much more for him to do. But yeah, really, really good on there. This was a great match. It had all the showbiz and sort of all the quirky little stuff that it had in it. Things like the guy dressed up as the Prime Bottle and all that, which turned out to be his business partner, didn't it? Which was KSI. So that was all good on there. I actually thought it was going to be his bro. I was surprised it wasn't.
To be honest. But
that was all really good. The table getting broken with the leap off of the top, absolutely fantastic. The close calls, the movesets throughout, absolutely fantastic. Seth Rollins, we keep talking about Logan Paul, but Seth Rollins absolutely did his part in this as well. The fans absolutely adore Seth Rollins at the moment. They have got to consider pushing him for a title contender. To go up against the champ, because everything he's doing at the moment is white hot at the moment. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. played his part so well in it as well. But yeah, this was a great match, absolutely great.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Seth Rollins picking up the victory, which was against what we both picked.
Yeah, we both picked Logan Paul, didn't we? Yeah. Not sure why we. I know why I did it. I did it because I just thought, you know what, I want to flip this. I'm going to be a bit different. And I was convinced you were going to go with your boy. I was convinced you were going to go with him.
Well, if only we'd watched Raw before we did our predictions video, then maybe that would have been a slightly different.
We might have slightly changed our minds on that
Rollins' promo, but well-deserved win. Nice to see Rollins getting a win on Mania as well. It's just a huge achievement. He deserves it as well.
Absolutely.
After the past 12 months, he's been doing some of the best stuff in his career, in my opinion. Brilliant stuff. Up next, Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus and Lita versus Damage Control.
Yes, this was really good. I tell you what, I really liked the intro that
the comic book
that
stuff.
they got with it was the Sin City the Sin City-esque kind of stuff on there. That was absolutely beautiful. Some of the presentation stuff this year was absolutely fantastic. Really liked all that. Damage Control coming out in their gear. There's some weird stuff going on in that gear. Bailey had this shoulder coming up, and I don't know, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It was great on there. And again, the match placement on this card continues to be perfect as well. It's booked in absolutely the perfect order.
Right slap bang in the middle.
Absolutely perfect. All six of these women looked amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. They all looked really good. I was surprised that Becky Lynch didn't get something a little bit more outrageous, or maybe a little bit more for her man kind of style stuff. I was expecting her to get something a little bit more crazy on there. Lita looked great in her sort of like traditional kind of stuff. Trish Stratus' stuff as well, like all paid back to her last WrestleMania when she had the braces and all that on there. Gonna give a big shout out to Trish Stratus' top, the hardest working top in wrestling, I think. How it managed to keep those in, I'll never know, because they looked like they were going all over the place. But absolutely fantastic. They looked really good.
I just want to quickly talk about Lita, because as a competitor, I have huge respect for Lita. She is definitely one of the pioneers of the women's division, but this absolutely broke my heart because she was not good in this match. In my opinion.
She looked.
I found it almost a bit. It was actually hurting to watch it because we all know how good Lita is. She is one of the pioneers. Something wasn't right in this match.
She kind of looked a bit stuttery. She kind of looked like she had moments where she'd lost the momentum, lost the rhythm. There were a couple of good bits that she did put in there. There was I don't want to sort of run her down completely. There were some good bits in there, but there were moments where she was either in the wrong place, or she didn't know what the next spot was, or she didn't know what was going. Something wasn't quite right on there. Trish, on the other hand, she has not missed a step at all. She has not missed. I think she's probably slowed down very slightly, very slightly. But she barely missed anything, and she looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, this woman does not age. There must be a painting up in a loft somewhere that's aging over time, because Trish Stratus certainly isn't, because she looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, definitely. And they did get the win on this one. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita have beaten Damage Control. My question for you, though: are we approaching the end of Damage Control as a group?
I think I mentioned this in the predictions video. I would not be surprised if we maybe start to see a little bit of a split going on with Damage Control, which would be a shame, because I really like Damage Control, and I really like there being a women's faction in WWE, because we don't get them very often. So it's nice to have a women's faction in there. But then I sometimes wonder that to have a single women's faction, sometimes you need to have another women's faction for them to almost either go against, or for you to see the comparison between the two. But yeah, I would not be surprised if maybe this comes to an end. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see the fractioning of it all coming in, whether we start to see it all breaking. I think it will be interesting to see what comes on over the coming weeks, especially when we get up to things like the Queen of the Ring tournament and the Women's Money in the Bank as well. Will we start to see little splits starting to happen there, because if they get into those matches, they get into those tournaments, are we going to start to see the pressure? Are we going to start to see it start to break?
Oh yeah, definitely. You've got 3 really talented women in this group as well. Definitely Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they are the future of the women's division in my opinion. Bailey as well. She, like I said, another one of the pioneers of the women's division in wrestling. They wouldn't suffer from having a bit of alone time, I don't think.
No, and Dakota Kai's still so young as well. There's so much that they can do with her as well. She could really quite easily be a future star of the company with the stuff that she can do. Yeah, absolutely. And same with Io Sky as well. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely brilliant.
So you even up the odds on this one?
We did even up on this one, yes. You said that Damage Control were going to come out on top of this one, whereas I went with the Legends. I just thought this was going to be one of those feel-good matches that will send the crowd home happy, knowing that they've seen some of the Legends come out on top. So that evened things up nicely to 2-2.
Definitely.
In terms of the predictions. So far so good.
Not too bad. Going into our next one then, it was father versus son. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. I was really looking forward to this. This was one of the matches on the night 1 card that I was really keeping my eye on, really excited to see how they play this one out. Let's start just by talking about the entrances. Dominic Mysterio's entrance was one of the entrances of the weekend.
Absolutely brilliant. I absolutely loved everything about this entrance. It was superb. It was the whole the video of him being taken out of the cell and everything else, and being handcuffed, being led into the van, all of that, absolutely brilliant. Then you get the van coming through and everything else, because we were originally thinking that maybe it was going to be him coming out in a Eddie lowrider. We thought that was going to happen, but him coming out in the corrections van, the side being opened up, him coming out with his hood up, everything else. Like, okay, he had a little bit of trouble getting the hood off, with the mask on as well. Really good. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. This to me was it was probably one of, if not the best entrances of the night. And then we get Rey Mysterio coming out with Snoop Dogg in the lowrider. With Eddie Guerrero's music as well. Absolutely beautiful. I'll be honest, I had a little moment there. It was a beautiful moment. Absolutely loved it. What a great way to pay respects to Eddie, especially after Ray's induction into the Hall of Fame. That was absolutely beautiful. Two amazing entrances for two great guys at the moment. Two great
definitely.
Guys.
This match was so much fun. I think I really enjoyed this one. Ray did a absolutely fantastic job of making Dom look as good as he possibly could in this match. He took some pretty hefty bumps. There was one of the moves where Ray's head completely was absorbed in the turnbuckle, and I thought he'd actually knocked him out at one point. But Ray did everything he could to make Dom look as good as possible. And Dominic, he's just, every time you see him in the ring, you see the improvement and you see the progress in it, not only his character work but also his in-ring work as well.
Dominic's heel work is absolutely superb. And people laugh and they say that he's not believable and everything else. I disagree with that. I think Dominic's heel work is excellent. He can certainly do it so much better than the face work that he was doing in the past. Yeah, really good on there. He was doing all the sly little moves, all the sort of the little moments that the referee doesn't see and all that. Really loved the stuff that he was doing with his mum and his sister Aaliyah as well. That was all really good as well. Yeah, really liked all of that. Some really good storytelling throughout on all this as well. Some really good stuff. Then you get the addition of Damian Priest and Finn Balor coming in as well. That was all really good as well. And then you get the addition of the Legado del Fantasma or the Latino World Order coming in as well. That was all really good as well. Santos Escobar with that dive through the ropes and everything else. Absolutely brilliant. Really good. Some great storytelling in this one. Really solid stuff right the way through. And a really good match. Some really good moments in it. Some really strong stuff.
Loved the spot where Dominic was in the corner and Ray whips the belt out, and it's kind of like the fans absolutely loved that. I mean, that was brilliant storytelling. That was done perfectly.
Yeah, it was done also well. There were great moments. There were great moments in it when you thought Dom was going to come through. He was going to cheat his way through, and he was going to win it. There were moments when you thought Ray was going to come back. Then it would switch back over again. Really, really well done. Really well done on this one.
Definitely. Can't talk about the fact that we had somebody sat at the Spanish commentary table as well in Bad Bunny.
Yes, Bad Bunny was there as well. I had a funny feeling that Bad Bunny was going to be doing something at WrestleMania just because they want to promote the next event, which will be Backlash, which is going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And Bad Bunny is obviously going to be a big part of that. So he was there as well. Dominic goes for the chain. Bad Bunny pulls it out of his hands. Yeah, really good. Really liked that. That was all really good stuff on there as well. And then it all comes around and Rey Mysterio picks up the win on that one.
Picks up the win. Brilliant stuff. You can't take it away from either of them, though. Absolutely fantastic performance in this match.
Yeah, really good. This one could have gone either way, and I would have been happy either way. But ultimately, though, I picked Rey.
You did.
And you picked Dom.
Yeah, definitely.
So chairman of the board gets another point up on the board. So 3-2 now to the chairman. So, really, really good match. All solid throughout. I can see this continuing on. There's going to be more to this. I think this story is going to keep on going, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it stretch out with maybe Backlash. Maybe we take it right the way up through to SummerSlam.
Possibly, like I said, I mentioned the predictions earlier. Maybe we look at a tag match, Rey and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and somebody, maybe.
I think Dominic and Priest, because Priest and Bad Bunny have a history, don't they? So
let's try and spread the story out a bit until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So coming up next, then we had the match that should have been the main event, in my opinion. As soon as I saw that this match was being promoted as the next one on the card, I was a little bit disappointed because the run of form of the placement of the matches was excellent up until this point. I understand why they put the main event as the tag title match, the emotion of the storyline and everything else, the characters in it. But we have our reasons for this one. But anyway, it's Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Smackdown Women's Championship.
Yes, I can't argue with you there. I feel this should have been main event. Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble. They should therefore main event night one. The men get to still main event night two regardless. So I think it would have been fair. Yes, again, I do understand why. I understand the emotion and the passion behind the tag team match, the storyline and everything that's built up through that as well. Maybe it's just us being traditionalists. Maybe we just like to see things done that way. I don't know, but this was the match that we said that we were both really, really looking forward to in our predictions video. As I said in my predictions video, Rhea Ripley at the moment is 100% my favourite at the moment. Everything she does is fantastic. And these two got good entrances as well. Rhea Ripley looked amazing as well in her stuff as well. I loved all the makeup and everything all coming down her face. I know people will say they look like her hair dye had run, but to me it looked brilliant. It made her look menacing. It made her look really nasty. Absolutely fantastic. Charlotte Flair came out in something else, something that Seth Rollins probably could have worn by the looks of it. But both of them come out, they get in the ring. So there's that tension is building up right there, and the crowd were really into this as well. This was the crowd were really into this before the match even got started. I think this was, and I've got to be honest, this is the one of the matches that I was really looking forward to over the weekend, and I was not disappointed whatsoever. In fact, I think this one went above and beyond my expectations as to what these two women could do. Yeah,
this is one of the best. I actually have put on my notes. This is one of the best women's matches I think I've seen in a long time. Because this was absolutely incredible. I'm not going to lie, my nerves were something fierce for this match. I was really, really. I was sat watching it with the little bro, and I literally was silent from the opening bell to the final bell. Just didn't say anything. Eyes glued to the TV until it finishes. But this was absolutely fantastic. Two of the all-time greats, in my opinion, clashing out in the middle of the ring. Like I said, super gutted this wasn't the main event. I think the fans would have been just as happy with this as the main event. The pop Rhea Ripley got when she won the title, they absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it, and you could see the emotion in her as well. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, this was. Yeah, I can't argue with it. I've got to say, I think this is one of the best women's wrestling matches I've ever seen. It was absolutely incredible. The women get a lot of stick in wrestling because we're so used to those years where it was kind of like that. It was all like very kind of limp and just not. I mean, these two really went for it. They really gave it heart. And wow, I mean, some of the stuff that they were doing was fantastic. Some great moves in there. Both of these women are going to come out
sore
after this match.
Especially Charlotte.
Charlotte with that rug burn across her nose as well. Oh, that was... And they showed that back a few times, and every time I winced at that.
Yeah.
But this match had me hooked right from the very start. I was on the corner of... right on the edge of my seat right the way through. I think at one point I was practically levitating off of it. I was hooked into it right the way through. There were so many close calls on there for both women on there. The moveset was fantastic. The storytelling right the way through it all was brilliant as well. And then we end up at the end with that middle rope riptide. We get the cover.
Stuff.
Yeah, get the cover. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new Smackdown Women's Champion. The absolutely, totally well-deserved Women's Champion as well, in my opinion. The Nightmare Rhea Ripley. She will go on to do amazing things with that belt, I hope. But absolutely brilliant. I was so happy for this one. Absolutely over the moon for this one. Brilliant. I can't really say much more. Charlotte Flair looked devastating upset afterwards, but she also looked proud as well. She also, the camera showed her, she looked proud of the match that she'd put on. She looked proud of Rhea as well. And she even put out a tweet as well, congratulating Rhea Ripley on her win as well, and saying that she hopes she carries the title forward, which I thought was a really nice touch as well. Yeah, really, really liked all that. But Charlotte put on a great performance. Rhea, absolutely brilliant. For me, this personally was the standout match of night one.
Yeah, definitely.
This was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Definitely. Really happy with that. And that put us up another one, didn't it?
Yes. We both went with Rhea Ripley on this one. We were not we were not going to go with our girl Rhea Ripley. So we both totally love Rhea Ripley. So yeah, well done, Rhea. Well deserved. Everything you've done over the last 12 months has been amazing. Carry that belt to the moon and beyond.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, can't wait to see who our first target's going to be.
Who do you think will be? Who do you think who's going to step up to Rhea first?
I don't know. I would really like for it to be somebody like Shayna Baszler or somebody like that, but for various reasons I'm going to address when we do night 2, I don't think that's going to happen. Over on SmackDown, you've got some talented girls. You've got Raquel Rodriguez, you've got Liv Morgan, you've got even people like Ronda Rousey. You've got people that can challenge Rhea Ripley, and you have the potential to have some stellar rivalries.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
Raquel and Rhea have a history as well, don't they, from NXT?
Yeah.
So that's definitely could be
going on. But like I said,
the
split of Damage Control, you've got people like Io Sky, Dakota Kai. You've got some of your young Liv Morgan. You've got some of your younger girls coming up that could give her a good showing. I think this is a really good time for women's wrestling. Really, really excited.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
100% on there. Then we had a little bit of time to kill before the main event. So, who would come out then? The host of WrestleMania 39, The Miz.
The Miz, and the Dogfather as well, yes.
The Dogfather, yeah. Snoop. I did chuckle at that a little bit. That was quite funny. We knew we were going to get The Miz in there somewhere. He's going to come down and make it.
Something was bound to happen one day. Yeah, it was going to happen one way or the other in some shape or form. I thought maybe at one point we were going to see The Miz and Snoop square up for a moment.
Wow, yeah.
Then I was thinking maybe we're going to get a surprise return. Maybe we were going to get somebody like Orton or Riddle or something like that come back. And we did get a surprise. We got Pat Mcafee.
Yeah, the Dogfather can also book matches at WrestleMania now as well. So watch out for 40 next year. Pat McAfee comes back. This was a good moment.
This was fun.
Yeah,
this was fun.
The fans loved this. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. I loved with Snoop Dogg as well, the way that he's continuing to rant. He's like, I'm going, I'm leaving, as he's walking up there.
Yeah. I'm going, I'm leaving. You do your thing, you do your thing, I'm doing mine, you do your thing kind of thing. Yeah, really, really good. The Miz is always good fun, and the Miz is always up for doing whatever the company asks him to do. You're doing a really good job with the hosting and everything else on there. This was a little bit of fun, a nice little break in between the two matches in order for people to sort of get drinks, get themselves to the loo or whatever, get themselves ready for that main event. So yeah, this was a nice little break up in here. A little bit of fun. Pat McAfee obviously comes out on top, gets a little bit of help from his NFL mate there as well. But yeah, all a good little laugh on here, a good little giggle. Shame to see the Miz picking up another loss, but it's only a little WrestleMania fun match, so I think it's not going to do anything to hurt him.
So there wasn't too much damage to that suit as well, because that suit looked expensive.
$10,000 apparently, according to.
So hopefully that can buff out a little bit on there.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. And then it is time for the main event. The Usos defending their titles against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and this one was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. Yes. The electricity from this crowd was felt all around the world. I think you could feel it pouring out of the TV. This had a WrestleMania main event feel to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. Do you know this is only the second time they've had a tag match in the main event of WrestleMania, and the first one was the opener, which was the WrestleMania 1. When we had Hogan and Mr. T versus. Orndorff and Piper. Yeah. Wow. So this is the second time that we've had, and the first time we've had it for the tag titles. On the
wow.
So a bit of trivia there for you guys as well.
Yeah.
Really monumental moment as well. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn. Come on, you can't argue. He is one of the hottest things in WWE at the moment. It's just absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant at the moment. So you've got the obviously you've got the Usos. They're brothers. They've spent their whole life together as a team, working together, doing everything that they've needed to do on there. Their title reign at the moment was absolutely fantastic. They've done everything that they needed to do. Really good to actually see the Usos on the WrestleMania card, because there were so many years where the Usos never even got onto the card, or barely even got onto the kickoff. And so great to actually see them not only on the card but also main eventing as well. It was really good on there. Even though we've said about that we think Charlotte and Rhea should have had the main event, really good to see that. Then you've got the friendship of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. 20 plus years of friendship, their time through the indies, their whole story that's gone through, their makeup, the breakup, the back together, the makeup, breakup again. There's been so many times that these two guys have been together and then apart and then together again and then apart. It's been such a great story on there. To see these two come together as well in solidarity. Love the WrestleZania t-shirts. The shorts that they had on were very similar as well. So they've all got that matching gear as well. All really good stuff. The emotion was there. The crowd was there. Everything about this just carried this through beautifully. Yeah,
this was everything I wanted and expected from this match. It culminated a fantastic night of wrestling, in my opinion. Those 3 haluva kicks that he hit. That was storytelling to the absolute maximum as well. You could see the emotion after the first one, and then you go to the second one, and you see a little bit more kind of like, because Jey Uso was his boy, he was his brother.
Yeah.
He hits the second one and he goes back for the third one. You can see the emotion again, and it's just storytelling to the maximum. It's absolutely brilliant.
It was all in there. You even had Jey Uso hit Sami Zayn with a haluva kick, which was really good. You had Sami Zayn kick out of the 1D. Like, nobody kicks out of the one and done. It's like absolutely brilliant. Though Kevin Owens popping up power bombs here, there, and everywhere as well. You had tables getting wrong. You had so much going on. Absolutely fantastic. I was convinced at some point that Solo was going to come down, and that we were going to get so much interference. We were going to get the bloodline all coming down and getting it all mixed up and everything else on there. really good stuff on there. And then this ended the way that the way that you want fairy tales to end. You want fairy tales to end with a happy ending, and this is exactly what it did. A Hollywood ending to the first night in Hollywood. And we have new tag team champions in Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, really exciting times. You can't take anything away from the Usos, though. I mean, if you don't like the Bloodline, if you don't respect the Bloodline, just look at what they have accomplished. The fact that the Usos are in the main event of night 1 and Roman Reigns is in the main event of night 2, that just screams how good they are. Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. An exciting time for the tag division in wrestling. A lot of good tag teams in WWE at the minute. Really excited to see who is going to be kind of stepping up to take on these two. But I could see them holding on to it for a little bit. I think that they could do some good stuff for these.
Yeah, I hope this isn't just a quick transition one. I hope that they let Kevin and Sami run with this for a while. They both deserve it. They're both great competitors. They have that fan base. They've got that connection with the fans as well as with each other. So yeah, all really good on there. What do you think is going to happen next then for the Usos and the Bloodline?
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously we'll see what happens on Raw and the Smackdown following this. I think the Usos. This could either be the end of the Bloodline in terms of as a group, or it could be the beginning of the Bloodline as a group. Heavy rumours are Jey Uso is going to look to leave the group again. I don't know. We'll see. Will they take a bit of time off? The Usos have been going like the Clappers for the past couple of years as a tag team, so we could easily see them maybe say, do you know what, let's have a little bit of time.
Have a bit of time off. Don't blame them. Don't blame them.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens on that.
Really good. Depends on how the Tribal Chief's going to feel about it all, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll see.
But overall, night 1, absolutely fantastic on here. Really good. For this match, we both went with Sami and Kevin. We felt that was going to happen on there as well. So really good. So night 1, absolutely excellent. Really can't fault night 1 at all. We could quibble about the last 2 matches being in different positions. But night 1 was fantastic. Night 1, I think, is going to be one of those ones that people are going to look back on in years to come, and that's going to be hitting a lot of people's top 10 favourite nights.
Definitely. Yeah, really good stuff on there. And then we had night 2, kicking things off with Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Again, the perfect opener, I think.
Yeah. A good opener. Really solid on there. Omos looks huge.
Yeah,
he looks so huge. And what I really like as well is the fact that when he comes out and he stands on the stage and he comes out with MVP always stands a little bit behind just to give him that emphasis of how much bigger he looks. It's a visual way of doing it, but it really does do the job. It's really good stuff on there. Omos looking good. Brock Lesnar gets a big pop. It always makes me laugh how much people criticise Brock Lesnar and how much people are kind of like, oh, it's not Brock Lesnar again, oh, whatever, like that. And yet every time he comes out, he gets a huge pop. The fans really like Brock Lesnar, and that's always just makes me laugh the amount of people that criticise Brock Lesnar on social media and that. And yet when he comes out on an arena, he always gets a big pop.
Yeah,
and looking good as well, looking in good shape.
Oh yeah, he looks great. Yeah. Both men, I think, improved themselves massively in this match. Omos, you can see the improvement in his in-ring work. He was probably the best I've ever seen him in this match.
Yeah, definitely,
really good stuff.
Yeah.
It was a short and simple match, but you would expect that between kind of 2 bigger guys.
Yeah.
They did all of the big spots in there. That first bit where Omos just basically picks Lesnar up and chucks him across the ring. How many people can you see do that to Brock Lesnar?
No.
So yeah, I mean that was pretty good to kind of start things off. We had a shocker though. Because Lesnar picked up the win. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that. In all honesty, I was really expecting that this might be the time for them to start putting a rocket onto Omos and shooting him up a little bit. Don't get us wrong. Omos had a really good showing. Like I said, probably his best showing to date. Really good. You can see the stuff that he was doing. You can see that he has improved. He doesn't look as green as he did before. He was moving around fairly well as well. The problem with Omos is being a 7'3" guy. It's not going to be so easy for him to move around. You're also going to get the situation that when he goes down on the floor, what do you do with him then? 'Cause
Yeah.
it takes him a little bit of time to get back up again because of his size. But great to see the size difference that you saw between him and Brock Lesnar was really, really good. Picking him up and slamming him down as well. Like Brock Lesnar was obviously quite happy to let Omos pick him up and do some stuff with him and throw him about a bit. But yeah, surprised to see Brock Lesnar pick up the win. I would have liked to have seen Omos maybe kick out of the first F5.
Yeah, possibly.
And maybe Brock Lesnar having to deliver a couple more to actually get him to stay down. I think that would have just given Omos that little bit more of a threat kind of feel about him. Do you reckon we're going to rematch on this one?
Yeah, possibly. I think we could quite possibly see a rematch on here. And I think it would be good as well. I think this would be a good maybe match to have at maybe WrestleMania Backlash or somewhere further down the line. But I'd happily see a rematch, to be fair. This was a really good match.
Yeah.
I thought definitely lived up to my expectations of this match.
Yeah.
We'll see what
all
happens.
really good. Yeah. So going into night two, it worked out at the moment that the chairman is currently up 5-4. And on this first match, we did both pick Omos.
We did.
Unfortunately, yes, we both got that one wrong. So currently staying at 5 for the chairman, 4 for the wrestling guy.
Oh, okay, got a bit of picking up to do. Coming up next then, we had our Women's WrestleMania Showcase match. It was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yes. Okay, should we get some of the good stuff out of the way first of all?
The attires were brilliant.
All the attires looked really, really good. Yeah, the teams all looked really, really good on there as well. I actually heard that unfortunately it was supposed to be Carmella and Chelsea Green, but unfortunately Carmella was injured, which is why they put in Sonya Deville. Yeah. But I really like Sonya Deville, and I thought Sonya Deville put on a really good showing in this one. Yeah. I think a lot of the women actually put on some good stuff. There were some good moments in this match. However, it all kind of seemed to go wrong somewhere. Yeah. I don't know what it was. It was very kind of I don't know, like Liv and Raquel Rodriguez worked really, really well as a team. They did some really good teamwork stuff together. The bit where Raquel picks her up and power bombed her over the top rope onto everybody else. All brilliant, all really, really good stuff like that. Really, really liked that. Natalya and Shotzi, for a team that they've kind of chucked together, actually were pretty good. They did some really good stuff on there as well. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, very quickly chucked together team. They did some nice stuff the way they were playing out to the crowd and everything, but wrestling-wise, not particularly great. And then you had Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, who did pretty much nothing.
There was a moment in the match where people maybe thought Shayna Baszler was injured. The bit where towards the end she comes in, she doesn't have the boot on, she's limping a little bit. Let's hope that she isn't hurt too bad if she is injured. It'd be an awful time for her to be off for an extended period of time with how good the women's division is at the moment. Yeah. Obviously there was also that concern around Ronda Rousey as well. Being potentially injured.
Yeah, there was rumours going around that she had a broken bone in her arm, so therefore she was originally people thought maybe she was going to miss WrestleMania. Then they were added to the showcase match, which they didn't even have to qualify for, which Corey Graves kind of sold off as this, well, if you're Ronda Rousey, you can just say, I want a match and you'll get one or whatever, which, was kind of fair enough. I kind of get all that. But they didn't do anything. No. Other than the sort of the initial bit where Shayna Baszler interrupted them and then got taken out, which is possibly where this injury has been picked up, or it could have been from when somebody was falling on top of her or whatever. But they were down she was down for a while, and at one point I almost even forgot that they were even in the match. Yeah. It was like that, and then right towards the end, Ronda Rousey gets tagged in, puts on the armbar, and that's it.
And that's it.
And it was a bit. And it's like, yeah, I know that they want to do stuff with Ronda. Like, they've got her there. She is the big star that she is. And I love Ronda Rousey. I really, really love Ronda Rousey. So I'm really sort of sad to say this. But, yeah, it just... the match was... Yeah. It was a shame because the other women were... The 6 of the 8 women were doing some really, really good stuff in there. But everything just felt disjointed. It was all out of place. It just... yeah. And then the ending was just...
Yeah.
Poo,
definitely.
Unfortunately. It was all big poo.
Yeah.
Yeah, very disappointed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's my first real downer of WrestleMania.
100%. But then it picks back up again, because up next we had Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the IC title.
Yes. Just going to quickly point out on that last match, we did both pick Ronda and Sheamus to win, so we were actually happy about that. But currently 6-5 to the chairman still. But then we go into this IC title match.
This was incredible.
Wow. Absolutely wow. We said before that this was the match that there was this match and the Charlotte and Rhea match. These were the 2 matches that we were really looking forward to. This one, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Like we said in the predictions video, we had Gunther and Sheamus at Clash the Castle. It was a 5-star match. It was brilliant. How do you make it any better? Let's add a Scottish psychopath to it. Let's add Drew into it as well. Wow. Absolutely, wow. Well,
yeah, you had 3 of the hardest hitting wrestlers in the company battling the hell out of each other, and you had the Intercontinental title on the line. Absolutely brilliant. There's not a lot you can really say that's wrong with this match. The only bit I'd really say is I'm not a fan of Titus O'Neil on commentary. really not.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I kind of at one point I just sort of zoned him out because I was so focused on the match. Titus. I like Titus O'Neil. Great brand ambassador. Great everything he does for the company. But don't put him on commentary again, please.
No.
Just not good on there. But yeah, oh my god, yeah, these guys battered the bejeebus out of each other. I bet they all woke up feeling sore.
Feeling it for a few days, I reckon.
They must have been. This was the chops flying everywhere, more chops flying around than a blooming abattoir. It was all going on all over the place. It was some really great stuff on here. The story going on between Sheamus and Drew, that whole kind of we're supposed to be buddies, but you're kind of stabbing me in the back kind of thing. With this, it was all really, really good. So many close moments in this as well. Some really, really good stuff in here. All 3 of these guys were fantastic. There's not one you can turn around and say, oh well, he could have done better or whatever. All 3 of these guys were absolutely brilliant in this match.
Yeah, 100%. And Gunther coming up with the win on this one.
Yes.
Gunther retaining the title.
Yeah.
And that levels me back up.
That leveled it back up to 6-all. But to be honest, I can't complain about that. Gunther. Absolutely amazing. As Triple H has said in this press conference, Gunther is up on another level.
Yeah.
I see Gunther holding the world title.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to happen. It has to happen. It will happen. But what a great advertisement this is for European wrestling.
Yeah, definitely.
As well as you've got Scotland, you've got Ireland in there, you've got Austria in there as well. Yeah, what a brilliant promotion for European wrestling on here. These 3 guys absolutely doing the business. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. This to me, probably the match of the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Up next, we had Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. This match had big shoes to fill.
Yes.
Following the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair match.
Yeah.
I've actually got it on my notes as the instant classic between Rhea and Charlotte on night 1. So this had very big shoes to fill.
Yeah. The problem is it also had to follow on from that huge match for the Intercontinental title as well. Yeah. Okay, let's get the intros out of the way first of all. Asuka's intro with all the masks and everything all coming out. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really, really liked all of that. Great stuff on there. The Bianca Belair intro, I really, really liked that as well with all the young girls on there as well. The dance troupe on there doing all their stuff as well. Some really, really good stuff on that. A really nice moment for those young girls as well. So they all did a fantastic job on that. So
yeah, I mean that kind of had a bit of a special feel to it as well. If you watch the press conference afterwards, you see Triple H. He opens up about how the girl who did the contortionist stuff in the dance, unfortunately, her mum passed away on the morning of WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair took her aside and wanted her to be a special part of the entrance. Really emotional touch on there as well. Really heartfelt moment on there. You can see Triple H choking up about it in the press conference. You can't deny WWE, they are a business, they are a big billion-dollar company, but they do have the heartfelt moments for the kids as well.
They have the personal touches in there as well, the stuff that shows that they actually do care. And I think that Triple H is definitely one of them. You've seen it before where he gets emotional about stuff, and you could tell this really caught him in the feels. And yeah, it was a really feel-good moment on there. But yeah, really good stuff on there for the intros. Really liked all of that. And then we get down to the match itself.
Yeah. And this match, it was difficult because it kind of seemed to follow a kind of a distinct pattern all the way through. It was kind of counter, reversal, counter, reversal, counter, reversal, all the way through. It kind of just seemed to follow the same thing. And there was far too much emphasis, I think, on Bianca Belair in this match. I would like to have seen a little bit more from Asuka. Asuka, they brought her back, they've repackaged her a little bit. She's meant to be this darker, edgier Asuka. I don't really think we saw that in this match.
No. To me, this felt like a missed opportunity to really kind of push Asuka to be the monster, the evil that she's supposed to be since she came back. I would like to have seen sort of the Asuka of old, the sort of the NXT style Asuka with the undefeated streak and everything else on there. And I don't feel that we got that. I felt like. And it was a shame because these are two phenomenal women. They're both fantastic performers, but it just felt like it didn't quite gel. It just didn't quite seem right. A little bit too much focus on Bianca. I would rather have seen the match where Asuka was getting the beat down. Asuka was putting on the beat down. She was getting Bianca Belair and kept beating her down and looked like the dominant threat that she was going to be. And yet Bianca somehow manages to pull off the win. I would have rather have seen that. Than this. It almost seemed like it was the other way around, and it was a bit. For me, this one didn't sit well with the chairman. Especially seeing we just seen a 6-star classic between the guys, and obviously the night before we'd seen that amazing match between Rhea and Charlotte. For me, this one fell flat.
Yes, and surprisingly as well, Bianca Belair retains. The EST is still the Raw Women's Champion.
We both got that wrong. We both picked Asuka on that one.
I still kind of stand by my prediction. I personally feel Asuka was the person who should have won that match.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
This could be a missed opportunity on this one. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we get a return match at Backlash.
Well, it's interesting because in the press conference, one of the press actually asked Bianca Belair, is she looking to create the equivalent of a new WrestleMania streak?
Yeah, because she's currently 3.
She's currently 3. And she said that that was kind of an exciting prospect and something that maybe she would like to carry through. Would you like to see a new WrestleMania streak?
No, because I think the Undertaker streak came across kind of happened by accident. It was an unhappy accident, and then I think it was kind of more when they realised that this was actually going on. It was like, okay, this is an opportunity for us to carry this on and tell a story and build it all up. If you're starting a new streak from fresh, then kind of what's the point in watching Bianca Belair's match if you know she's going to win it? It's kind of it kind of gets to that point where it's like, yeah, she's 3-0 at the moment, but then next year, if she's in a match, you're kind of thinking, well, if she's going to win it, then if you know it's going to happen, then you're already losing some of that interest.
Yeah, definitely.
So so I'd rather the streak is the streak. And that's the end of it. It's done. The Undertaker streak should never be repeated. It can't be repeated and shouldn't be repeated. So leave it.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had a bit of time to kill again. So out comes The Miz and Snoop Dogg. The Dogfather and The Miz are back. Again, the host of WrestleMania 39. The Miz, he addresses what happened obviously on night 1. Talks about how expensive his suit was and how it got damaged. He's wearing an even more expensive suit for night 2. And it looks like everything's setting up for maybe a little match between Snoop Dogg and The Miz. But with that, Shane McMahon's music hits and down he comes. I mean, I know you're a bit more of a fan than I am, but I'm not a fan of Shane McMahon.
I don't mind Shane McMahon. He's okay. He always gets a good pop. The music always gets a good pop. I do like Here Comes the Man. It always gets a good pop on that one. So he came out and it was kind of like, oh, okay, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, you can go back to the stories of Shane and Miz, the past that they've had, their history, the bits and pieces that they've done together. So this could have been something, but unfortunately Shane McMahon gets injured.
Yeah, he does. We have a few couple of Miz going into the corner, a couple of Shane McMahon's awful punches that I really just don't like at all. And then we have he ends up blowing his knee out.
I feel sorry for him in that regard. It must have been nice to have come back, got that little pop from the Hollywood crowd as well. All really good on there. But unfortunately he goes to the does the leapfrog, comes down awkwardly. You see it on there. The referee obviously they stop and check on him straight away. The Miz stops. The Miz looks sort of a little bit confused, but is still trying to sell what's going on. And then we get a little bit of improv. From the Dogfather.
I mean, fair play to Snoop for stepping in. He mustn't have had a clue what to do. It was entirely improvised. But he, to be fair, he did an okay job.
Miz sold the punch well, went down. Snoop just kind of stood there for a moment, not really sure what to do with himself. Did all of this kind of thing as if he's getting ready for the people's elbow. Runs towards the ropes and sort of bounces off them and he comes back. But fair enough. I mean, if you've not been trained to hit ropes, you don't really know how to do it. So, but he did what he could. Came over, came back, jumped across. Did all that, and then lines himself up and hits probably the ugliest elbow I have ever seen.
It was not great. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Miz is feeling that one. But
I'm sure he is. I think probably a good third of Snoop Dogg fell on top of it. It was a good job that Snoop's not very heavy because
definitely.
It had done him some damage. It was an ugly looking elbow.
But fair play to him for stepping in. Completely. Improvement.
Again, it was a bit of fun. Really good effort on there from them, seeing that it all gone a bit wrong. Fair play to him. Feel bad for Shane. Hope it's not as bad as it looked, and hope he's back up on his feet real soon. Fair play. Again, another little bit of fun, a little bit of comedy in there for WrestleMania, and a nice little break-up before we get into the next match as well.
Yeah, and speaking of the next match, it was Edge versus Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
The return of the silver Hell in a Cell.
Yes, there was reports going around that they were going to go back to the original silver Hell in a Cell. Gone was going to be that red monstrosity, and instead we were going to get that lovely silver one back again. And I really liked that. I really liked a nod back to the classics, and
so obviously this film was this match was sponsored by the new film The Pope's Exorcist as well on there.
I might check that out.
It doesn't look bad actually.
It doesn't look bad.
It had Edge coming up through the floor as well with that mask on.
Yeah, kind of that crystal skull kind of look to it.
And the blue jacket, which was really nice on there as well. Really nice touch on there. And then we had, I think, one of my favourite parts of the whole weekend. Demon Finn Balor.
The Balor entrance, absolutely fantastic. Great to see the Demon Finn Balor back as well. Really good. The artwork on his back, all the way going through onto his chest, is just absolutely amazing. That must have took hours to effect that and get that right. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant work. Incredible stuff. I mean, I'd say the artwork on the back almost looks like he's wearing a t-shirt. It's that good. It's really, really phenomenal. Loved it. Loved all of that. Loved the old music. I loved the purple flares that he had as well, all waving around. Beautiful stuff, absolutely beautiful stuff. Really, really good. Both of these guys got great entrances. Like we were saying about Ray and Dom's on night one, these two on night two. Getting those fantastic entrances. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff on here. And then we kind of get into the match. Now, this was a weird match in my opinion. Going into Hell in a Cell, you had these expectations of what a Hell in a Cell match should be. Don't get me wrong, there were some brilliant bits in this match. The bit where he kind of had Balor in the corner. The 2 kendo sticks going across him, I thought was brilliant.
That was nice.
So he couldn't kind of escape. I thought that was really good stuff.
I love the way he kind of snarled and that while he was doing it as well. That was Balor was really selling the demon character with the snarling.
Yeah.
The bit where he sort of he hits him and then he sort of like that a minute and then he's suddenly back up again. And trying to get Balor selling it beautifully.
We had coloured chairs as well. Coloured chairs and purple kendo sticks as well. I didn't mind the purple kendo sticks, to be fair, because that was kind of gave me a bit of kind of Judgment Day vibes as well. So I kind of did like that.
Yeah.
The bright red chairs, the bright blue chairs, kind of I'm not too sure about that, but yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
And then we had the moment that I think kind of stopped everybody in their tracks a little bit, which was the part where Edge kind of throws a ladder at Finn Balor. He comes down, doesn't quite catch it right, and then we kind of get a bit of a stoppage because Balor does end up getting quite a nasty wound on the top of his head.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show any images. Go and check it out on the internet if you want to see, because it's pretty horrific.
It is gruesome. When I was growing up, my mum always told me never throw things at people because the people can get hurt, and you can see why on this. Oh my god, it was nasty. I mean, you could tell the way that Balor went down, and straight away you kind of thought, I don't think this is going to be good.
No.
And then when you saw everything stop. They get the medics in, they've got a checkup. And that's fair enough, they have to do that sort of thing. I know it upsets fans when they stop matches. I know that people go, oh, it's only a bit of blood or whatever, but they have to do these things nowadays. People have to get medically checked. Because for all intents and purposes, that gash on Balor's head is huge. He could potentially have started bleeding out. It is really, really gruesome.
I mean, it's difficult as well, because obviously he had the face paint on and he had the hair dye in and everything else. So kind of as a fan watching on TV, you couldn't see exactly what had happened because of all of that. There was clearly something wrong. You could see the blood on the ring mat. You can kind of see as well, because the whole kind of purpose of a Hell in a Cell is to kind of, they're contained, nobody can get in, so the fact they had to bring doctors in, you knew something wasn't quite right. And like I said, I'm just kind of glad that they did that.
They've got to check on it. Yes, it did stop the match for a bit. Yes, it did spoil the match. But I would rather that than have to hear news that Balor the Balor has suffered, or that something has gone wrong and that Balor's in hospital or whatever. Like, I would rather that they have to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And Edge as well, the veteran Edge, he knew exactly what he needed to do.
He knew.
Goes outside, starts bringing more weapons in, grabs a handful of kendo sticks, brings some chairs in, some ladders, sets some stuff up.
Big kudos to Edge for that. He knew that things had to get stopped and had to get checked. He knew the camera wasn't going to focus on what was going on with Balor, so he went off and he brought more stuff in just to get that drawn away, just so that it draws away that attention for a moment. Big kudos to Edge. He knew what he was doing there. Definitely.
And then the match resumes. We kind of start setting up for the finish. I think everyone kind of was a bit kind of thankful, but also a bit worried about this match continuing. Me being one of them. I was kind of thinking, I'm kind of going to be quite watchful of actually what they do now after that. And then we get Edge pick up the win. This match obviously had to get cut shorter, so they've obviously cut a big bit out. I think if that had been in there, if everything had been going as it would have been, I think this match would have done a lot better. But these things happen. It's life. It's wrestling. It's one of those things. Edge picking up the win. We'll see. We both went with Finn Balor because as soon as we found out it was going to be the Demon, we thought, well, that's it. The Demon's got to pick it up. I think this is a shame. This is kind of put a real sort of dampener on the Balor, the Demon Finn Balor character. Definitely.
Because he was supposed to be undefeatable. The only time he's ever been beaten before was by Samoa Joe. So it's kind of put a bit of a dampener on that. Edge is only part-time. Why does Edge need to pick up the win? I just don't see the sense in that one. I know it's that feel-good that Edge is going to pick up the win, so that the good guy gets the win, especially with what happens in the main event. But I don't think it needed it. I think this could have been the great opportunity for them to push Finn Balor up to the next level. Even be talking about Balor being a future contender. I think it would have done great stuff for Judgment Day as well. People on social media are firing back and saying, why did they give the win to Edge? Why did they do this? Edge was talking about how he wanted to push future stars and things like that, and yet so far it seems like he's only really pushed himself with this. Yeah, I kind of agree, kind of disagree with that. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it shouldn't have happened. I don't think Edge is doing it deliberately to try and push himself. Maybe there's more to come in this. I don't know. This was supposed to be the match that ends the feud. If it's ended like this, to be honest, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a damp squib. Sure. But we'll see what happens on there. But a shame because it was a great opportunity for them to have a really, really good match. Unfortunately, the injury obviously caused some problems, so that slowed it down. And the ending, in all honesty, for me, it was the wrong guy won.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I have to say, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%. And then we go into the main event of night 2. Roman Reigns defending his undisputed WWE Universal title against the winner of the Royal Rumble match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yes. So this is already going to have had a lot of coverage on social media, but we are going to put our side of it across. First of all, let's just say both entrances.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Cody Rhodes looks fantastic in his American Patriot style jacket. Yeah, really, really good. Loved the little moment where he went up to Brandy and the baby as well. Really, really lovely. Loved all of that. That beautiful moment as well where he hands his weight belt over to Brody as well. -1 obviously in AEW. Yeah, they've got that relationship. Cody was obviously there when Brody Lee passed away and spent a lot of time with young Brody, making sure that he was safe and well looked after and everything else. They have that bond, they have that connection. That was a beautiful moment. That was a proper, that's real life and wrestling transcending into one beautiful moment. Yeah, really, really good. A really, really nice touch on that. I'm really glad that they had the opportunity to do that as well, that there weren't any issues with AEW and WWE as companies. They still let that happen. So really, really good moment. Roman Reigns comes out, fantastic entrance, that lovely slow-paced entrance that I'm in charge of, this all happens on my time kind of thing. Paul Heyman, absolutely fantastic again. Sikoa stood there looking menacing, all really, really good. The whole intro starts really, really good. Then the match gets underway. Yeah,
this match was absolutely everything I wanted and more. This this had a big fight feel for a match, main event.
Absolutely, we said that last year. They said that WrestleMania's main event, the biggest WrestleMania main event of all time. I think they could have put that as the tagline for this year's main event, and I don't think they would have been lying on that. It had that big fight feel to it. The fans were eating this up right from the get-go. You had the cheers, you had the boos, you had the chants for Roman Reigns, you had the chants for Cody. Absolutely brilliant. The back and forth between these two guys, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's some lovely moves throughout. Both hitting each other hard, both hitting each other fast. The beginning bit where Cody's just getting the upper hand and Roman Reigns rolls out and Paul Heyman is straight into Roman Reigns' ear, reminding him who he is and what he's done and what he's accomplished and everything else on there. And then he says, go back in there and get him kind of thing.
It almost reminds me of like Paul Bearer with the urn.
Yes.
It's kind of like it kind of giving Roman Reigns his power.
Yeah.
Kind of type thing.
Yeah.
Really good stuff on there.
Really good, and there were moments where Roman Reigns looked like he was beaten and looked like he was going to, like he was, how am I going to beat this guy? How am I going to beat this guy? And you can just hear Paul Heyman just getting in his ear, just shouting out to him, remember who you are. You are the tribal chief. Like you can do this kind of thing. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Paul Heyman in front of the camera.
Oh, brilliant!
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's there's one of the moments because we say all the time about Roman Reigns' near falls. He leaves them so close. It's unbelievable. There's one of them where just in the corner of the camera you see Paul Heyman. He's virtually in the ring. He's slowly climbing up and he's just like it's brilliant stuff.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And there's also one where Roman's pinning Cody and you can see Paul Heyman stood there going 1, 2, and then he suddenly goes and sort of looks towards the ring because he's kicked out. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff. Paul Heyman knows how to play it so well. So does Sikoa. What a great presence he makes in there. He does so little, just standing there with his arms crossed, but he really makes consequences on there. Obviously interferes early on, ends up getting kicked out. Then later on in the match, we get the interference from the Usos. We then get Sami and Kevin come down to help with that as well. So all really good on there.
Oh, that was great. You get the stunner from Kevin Owens, you get the haluva kick from Sami Zayn, and you think, oh,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, they attack Cody. Obviously, the Usos attack Cody. They then come out and get rid of the Usos, and then they attack Roman Reigns. And you think, this is setting up. This is going to be it. Is this going to set up for the moment? No, we get the kick out. We get Cody grab Roman Reigns, hitting him with the crossroads, hits him with a second crossroads, and then all of a sudden, Solo Sikoa's back, jumps into the ring, hits the Samoan spike. Down Cody suffers, and all of a sudden you get Roman Reigns hits the ropes, hits that huge spear, almost speared Cody clean out of his boots. 1, 2, 3, and Roman Reigns retains the WWE Championship.
Yeah. Yeah. This is... I think the fans are very... There's mixed reactions regarding this main event. I think that's
you're certainly not wrong there.
I think people are kind of disappointed. I personally feel that they have missed the mark slightly with this one. I think that the fans wanted Cody to win. They almost expected Cody to win. I think this would have been the prime opportunity to have taken the belts off of Reigns and give it to your new guy that you can really push and make him your new top star of the company. All credit to Roman Reigns. He is in God mode. He is at the top. There's nobody on his level. He is done things with the belts that not a lot of superstars can do. Really, really good stuff on there. But I think the bit that I struggle with is I have no idea where they go from here. I don't know what the plan is going forward. I'm sure Triple H has got everything in hand and sorted. I also have the feeling that this was giving me a lot of kind of vibes of Vince McMahon. I was thinking as soon as I heard that 3 count, I just thought this has Vince's fingerprints all over it, and I don't know, that kind of aggravates me a little bit. I don't see what the point of having Reigns retain here is. Obviously, I'm not sure what you think, but... Right,
we'll clear up first of all, we both went with Cody on this one. We thought this was the time, this was the moment. I got my Cody t-shirt on today, in sort of sympathy. Cody Rhodes is white hot. Absolutely white hot at the moment. Right, going into that match, I can't remember the last time that anybody's gone in as hot as that. Possibly Drew. Possibly back to going all the way back to Clash of the Castle. Possibly Drew. Was probably the guy that people thought was probably going to finish it.
It gave me kind of vibes of Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. Yeah. That kind of same feel to it.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Cody's absolutely white hot at the moment. He's got everything that he needs to be WWE's next big star. He has that American patriotism. He has the look. He has the moves. He has the mic skills. He has everything that he could do to be the next big guy. He even has the story. He has the whole story, the whole background, the whole Dusty and Dustin and his career and everything else. He's got it all. He's got it all there. Then you've got Roman Reigns, who is the big dominant champion, the main guy. Like you said, he's in God mode. Nobody seems to be able to take him down. So you have these two colossus bashing together at this moment. And WrestleMania is the time where you see changes, you see things happening, you see where the future is going to go, you see what's going to happen next. This should have been there should have been the time. There should have been the moment where the trigger was pulled, and they say, "Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's have go." Especially at the moment, it's really difficult at the moment because we've only got one main title at the moment, and this is the thing. If we still had 2 titles, then this probably would have happened, and Cody would be champion. We'd be talking today about how the American Nightmare is the new champ, but because we only have 1 title at the moment, it's very, very difficult. My worry is that where are they going to go next with Cody? it's been suggested that maybe this is going to be like Rocky Balboa, where we're going to get a slow build back up, where he goes back to being a contender. He has to work his way back up. He has to make his way back up to that main event. He has to slowly build it all back up again. My worry is if they're going to try and build this out and they're going to try and drag this right the way through to possibly even WrestleMania 40, will the fans still be interested? Will the fans still care by the time we get through another year? That's going to be my main thing. That's my main worry. Is this the point where Cody was so high up, where he was so white hot, that he's not going to get that hot again? I don't know. My other worry is now, where do they go next with Roman Reigns? Who is going to be Roman Reigns' next challenger? At the moment, I can't see anybody really coming through that I could say, that's potentially your next challenger. Maybe it's got to involve somebody returning. Maybe we've got to see somebody like Randy Orton. Maybe we've got to see Big E. Maybe we've got to see something like that come back and maybe be a contender. But my worry is going to be that they're going to keep patching in people. They're going to say, right, we'll put that person in there, we'll put that person in there, we'll put that person in there. And we're going to get like little patchy matches right the way up till we get another rematch. My worry would be that if Cody didn't win it at WrestleMania and they have him win it on a lower show, it's not going to have that same impact. It's not going to have that same moment. SummerSlam is the number 2 show. It's not the number 1 show. The number 1 show is WrestleMania. So I don't know. I kind of feel that they've dropped the ball slightly on this one. I can see what they want to do. I can see that they want to get Roman Reigns up over that 1,000 days. They want to make him this big star. Like Roman Reigns is up there with Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, all that. He's right the way up. Pedro Morales. He's up there with in terms of the number of days that he's held it, and they're pushing him as the new Hulk Hogan kind of thing. He is the next big thing. My worry is that we're not looking to the future. We're not looking to what happens when Roman Reigns finishes with the title. Like, because someday it's going to happen. The title's going to have to drop. My worry is that we're not setting up for the future. We're setting too much into the present. And to me, to be honest, with night 2 of WrestleMania, a lot of that felt like we were dealing with the past rather than looking into the future. I think Finn Balor could have gone over and been a future contender. I think with Brock Lesnar, again, the future is in Omos, and they didn't pull the trigger on that as well. So to me, it feels like we're not. And it just feels like it's something we kind of, for everything good that night 1 did, night 2 seems to have
100%,
kind of done some of it. And my worry is exactly like you said. It's got Vince McMahon's sticky fingers all over it. There's that hint of Old Spice and everything else going on there as well. It feels like Vince McMahon has fiddled and fondled with this. So we will see what happens. But all that aside, though, a fantastic match.
Yeah,
great match, great storytelling throughout the match as well. Really, really good stuff on there. Some brilliant back and forth on there. Cody got his shots in. Roman got his shots in. Cody looked like a legit contender right the way through. So,
definitely, you can't argue with how good these guys are. Triple H says in the press conference afterwards that Cody Rhodes is the top guy, along with Roman Reigns, in terms of in WWE as a company at the moment. We'll see where we go from here. But all in all, overall, 2 pretty good nights of wrestling. I think that this will definitely go down as one of the best WrestleManias in a lot of fans' eyes.
Night 1 probably more so than night 2. I think night 1 was almost perfect. Night 2 did have its issues. Unfortunately, night 2 did pick up a lot of injuries. And that's where some of the problems did come into it as well. But overall, a really good WrestleMania. We were excited about this one right the way through. It did everything it needed to do in terms of keeping the excitement going and building everything up on there. My worry is going to be now how fans react to what happened at the end of the show. So in terms of our predictions, we ended up with the chairman of the board had 6 and the wrestling guy had 6. So we ended up with a draw. We ended up with a draw, 6 out of 13. So
not too bad on it.
46% average.
Not too bad. A couple of curveballs in there we weren't expecting. But on to the next one, WrestleMania Backlash. So,
yes.
we're gonna have to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on some of the matches. Obviously, we'll be doing a predictions video on that one as we do. We'll see what stories get built up ready for WrestleMania Backlash. So, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's our breakdown for this year's WrestleMania. Please do let us know what you guys thought of this year's WrestleMania. We always like to hear what you guys think as well. So please do let us know down below in the comment section.
Yeah, obviously this is just our opinions of what we thought, everything else, but we would like to know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Which match really stood out for you? Who were your MVPs of the night? For me personally, night 1 Rhea Ripley, night 2, I can't pick between the 3 guys in the IC match, so I've got to say all 3 of them in that one. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Definitely. So yeah, really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe as always. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.